computer. Okay, so we're gonna present this. Can y'all see it? Yes. Do you see my body on the bottom?
Yes.
Isn't that
Yes.
cool?
That is cool. I've never seen that before.
I just learned this from one of my friends. So I was like, oh, I am totally gonna try that. So is this window of you people in the gallery, is it blocking the view at all, or is that not part of your screen? Okay, good. So then I
No.
can keep this here so I can see y'all. Um, so if you have questions, this isn't anything formal. This is all fun. But if you have questions, just interrupt me and don't, this is very, like I said, informal. It's not like you can't talk or anything in here, but we're talking about Miraval, which is my one of my favorite places on earth to go. I go twice a year. Now, as much as I can. This year, I only got to go once because I went to Savannah for a different conference, and I couldn't fathom 3 trips to Arizona in one year. That's a lot for travel for me. But um, this place has essentially been such a soul nourishing, replenishing place for me to go. I guess the first thing I want to ask is anybody ever been there at any of the Miravals?
No, but I've been to
No.
Savannah.
Okay, so you've been to Savannah. So Savannah is Miraval Light. Uh-oh, who'd we lose? We lost Rushmi. Okay, so hopefully she'll pop back in. So Savannah is Miraval Light, where Savannah is lovely. That's where I just was at, but you have to pay for a lot of stuff once you get there still, which I did not like. So once you've been to Miraval, you're like, all that shit needs to be included. Um, and the food at Savannah was not to my liking at all. And so that's where I'm like, okay, that was great, but I don't think I'm going to go back there because for me, once I've done this, I'll try, but that's it. You have to really work hard to top this.
Yeah, that was the first time I've done anything like that with a
Yeah.
girlfriend, so I had no idea,
So
what to expect.
yeah, and so that is essentially the experience, but more just put it on steroids in terms of the amount of pampering and love and just self care that you will get, and you don't have to pay for it.
Okay.
That's how I would kind of bottle this up. But my first trip was back in 2021. My chief resident, her name is Mary Lynn. I know Jennifer knows her. She invited us to go for her 50th birthday. And she was actually she told us after the fact, very skeptical and a little apprehensive because she didn't know if we would like it. It's obviously it's not a cheap place to go. And for her, knowing her, to ask people to spend that money to come and celebrate her birthday. She just wanted to make sure everybody had a great time, which we were at the end like, why were you even questioning that? Like, there's no way we would not have had a good time. Um, but it really changed many of the perspectives I had on my life. Mind you, I think when this happened, I had just found out that I literally at the resort found out I had a lesion on my breast that needed to be biopsied. And well, everything worked out fine with that, but I just remember the moments at this resort with the fear of finding that news out and then having to start to reflect and take care of myself in that moment. And this was like it was meant to be where I found out there. But essentially, self-care is any activity that we do. And you guys know I preach this that we do to take care of ourselves, our emotional health, our physical health, our mental health, our spiritual health, anything that refills our cup. And so for me, this has become my hard reset every year, twice a year, where I can go and kind of like shut off all the noise in the world around me and give myself that space to kind of reflect and maybe make some shifts and recharge myself. I call it teasingly the summer camp for adults because it literally feels like you're in high school and all your friends are there and everybody's going to classes. And sometimes you might have some classes together with people, sometimes you won't. Sometimes you might have lunch together, other times you won't. But it's just like everybody's just having fun, doing amazing things. And then we can meet up in the evening for dinner if we want. So it's very come as you are, i.e., when I say you literally can go to dinner in your robe from the spa with a head wrap on with all the oil, you can do that. Nobody cares, nobody's judging. It is literally you just show up at whatever feels yummy for you. If you want to wear your athletic clothes all day, which that's what I typically do, you can wear your bathing suit and a cover up if you're coming from the pool. Nobody cares. This is just relax. Um, and I put this in here because I literally am doing this. I know when you have a group of people together, you get a discounted rate. I'm not getting kickbacks from Miraval from pushing this out there. I am doing this because this is literally one of my favorite places and I want to share it with you guys. So I'll talk a little bit more about how the pricing works when we get through it, but that's really ultimately why I'm doing this, to bring you all together. Um, okay, so where is my, okay, there we go. So the mission, I thought this was kind of neat. I never even actually seen this until I was looking at the website to put stuff here. And so the other thing I want to say is every picture in this slideshow is a personal picture of mine from my phone, other than the page of the spa, because the spa page, they renovated their spa that and it just opened, I think it's September or October of this year. So I don't have any updated pictures of the spa, but everything else are from my phone. Um, but here we trade the rush for rhythm, the noise for stillness, and scrolling for presence. And in that presence, something shifts. We remember what matters, who we are, and how it feels to just be. And he says it so well. Like he just the way he puts it is perfect in terms of the accuracy of the mission. Um, so the point is when you get there to disconnect. And so they have a no device policy essentially, which but the first time when I found out, which was literally as I was walking on the resort, I was like, oh my God, WTF, how are we going to do this? Like I have kids, I have to be available, I have to be, accessible. And I gave myself permission to do it. You do get access, like you can, they don't take your phones away or anything, but you can use your phone in your room. They have one or two areas on the resort where you can pull out your laptop or pull out your phone, but it's not like in the amazing areas. They absolutely do not want you pulling out your pulling out your phone during food or mealtime. So they will actually come if they see you and ask you to put it away, which I thought was actually amazing. Um, and so it's not like you can't access or use your devices, but they are very, very conscientious about helping you not use them. When you are going to the yoga classes or the meditation classes or any of those, they'll actually ask you to turn it off completely because sometimes alarms and things like that will sound even with your phone being on DND. So just know that that's something that you'll have to be comfortable with. Typically what I do is I carry my phone and my watch with me. I take it off during all of the classes where I have to be present and I just turn it back on as soon as I'm outside of the space just to make sure I haven't gotten anything from any emergencies. But other than that, I actually don't respond. So i.e. if it's not my husband or my kids or the director of my office saying something is going down, I don't even respond. And that's the whole point so that you can let go of all the stuff. Some people don't even do that. So, you get to kind of gauge yourself and police yourself with that. So the rest of this is really just kind of their goals and their missions. And I'm not going to read all of those for you guys, but they have a big equine program and we'll talk about the activities. The whole point of everything here in Miraval is everything is put in place very intentionally. Each of the activities is not just to experience the activity, it's actually the deeper level meaning of reflection or what you're going to get out of it. And again, some can be a little bit more deep, some don't have to be. It's whatever you want to make it be for yourself. Okay, let's see. Next slide. Where's my mouse? Okay, there we go. So the dates, the setting and the dates. So we're doing Miraval, Arizona, because there's 3 locations. So this is in Tucson. I have been told by multiple guests once I started going that if you're going to spend the money and go anywhere, Tucson is the one to go to because they're all about the same cost. But this is the flagship. It's the largest. It has the most activities and development. And this is the one where I actually gave my talk as well. So it's just for me, this is it. And there's a magic about the Arizona setting. I think the desert. I grew up in Arizona too. So for me, there's just so much of the ambiance in the area. And this, I think there's a very powerful energy that you can't really sense until you're just there, boots on the ground, and you sense it. But the dates are November 8th to the 13th. This bottom left picture is they have like pods of the rooms. And so each little section has a little walkway that leads to this pod where they have like 4 or 5 of these little buildings. And you can see the doors in the front. Those are entrances to individual rooms. So they have different categories of rooms. This is the category of room that we'll be in called the Dreamcatcher room. That's the entrance, like I set up in the nighttime with the lighting. That's the entrance into the pod. The top right picture is obviously one of their pools, alongside the backdrop of the mountains, and that's coming from the spa. So the spa is attached to the pool. So I'm looking over the spa entrance. And then this is one of the views from the main restaurant looking out, so that there's a pod of the rooms to the left. The spa is actually over there to the right. Um, so that's kind of that area. Did I miss any pictures that I didn't explain over here? Let me just check. Okay, no. Okay, so here's more. So there's a labyrinth. Are y'all familiar? Anybody familiar with a labyrinth? It's a it's meant to be a place, a space for reflection, where maybe a lot of people, some people will have written a note or a letter to themselves, or if they're grieving or they want to release some obstacle or struggle that they're internally facing. It's a practice to walk through the labyrinth for that reflection. And again, it speaks to me sometimes when I'm there, and other times I'm like, this is just pretty. I'm going to take a picture. But so there's two of them on campus. The second picture is one of the streams. That pathway actually leads down to the hiking trails, the labyrinth, and this kiva. They call it the kiva at the bottom, which is the fire pit, where you can kind of just explore and be outside. It's just, like I said, a very magical setting. The kiva you can use at night. For my 50th, I just had them light it. They don't always light it, but you can make requests to do s'mores out there and have them light it at night. And they have some classes at night as well, with the fire. So it's just beautiful, just pretty for me. All right. So what is included? So this is the meat and potatoes of what everybody wants to know. So with your stay, if you have a 5-night stay, you get a $700 resort credit. And that resort credit you can use towards anything on the resort. Now, keep in mind, all of your food and snacks are included. The only thing that's not included in terms of your meals or eating or alcoholic beverages, and then the zero proof mocktails. But they have this lovely smoothie bar, which is pictured here on the left. That's actually it's called Palm Court. It's their all day snack option where you can grab and go little hand wrap sandwiches or wraps, yogurts. They have coffee cake, crumb cake, pumpkin bread, all that stuff. They have oatmeal. They'll make you a quesadilla at lunch or a burrito. So it's a very, very quick grab and go option. They make all sorts of smoothies, all sorts of coffees, all sorts of things. So this all is included. Nothing is an additional cost, which is amazing. So that's your food. But so your resort credit, going back to that, what that goes to are your spa massages, facials, manis, pedis. If you want to do a treatment, that money can be applied to that. There are classes, there are a crap ton of classes, and I'll show you that are included in your regular resort fee that you're paying. But there are some upgrades we can talk about that in detail if you guys decide to move forward. And I can actually teach you which classes are duplicated in a free session, so you don't really need to pay for it, versus the ones that are really worth paying a little bit extra for because it's an amazing class that they don't offer in any other way. So that, just to keep in mind, that's with the 5-night stay that you'll get a total of $700. Now I like to do massages when I go. I do 2 to 3 massages. So that's going to be enough to cover maybe 1 3/4 of a massage. So keeping it in mind, and my massages are typically 80-minute massages. So about $300 to $400 for a massage there for that length of time. All right, so the rooms we talked about is a dream catcher room. That's a picture of the room up here. It's exactly what your room will look like. Again, I'm not going to tell you too many of the little surprises and just like the things that made it like special, because then it ruins it for you guys. But it's a beautiful space. I've never had a complaint with any of the rooms. Activities we'll go to on the next slide. We talked about it a little bit. You get a Miraval tote bag and a reusable water bottle that everybody carries around with them. And it's just a very nice bag. I have like 8 of them now. I don't get rid of them because they're nice. I have a friend actually who has put zippers on them and she uses them everywhere still. So they're just a nice, durable, kind of cool bag. And they say Miraval on them. Spa we talked about, that is bottom left. It's been renovated, so I don't have pictures like I said, but that is the new, like, apparently they put a cold plunge pool and a hot tub in there. So those are new. Those chairs are new. None of that looks familiar to me. The transportation, they provide shuttle service from Tucson International Airport to the resort and back. And they have a wide range. I think Savannah like had 2 or 3 options for all day. I've never not taken the shuttle from from the airport to the hotel because they'll adjust. So they'll ask you 2 weeks in advance to send you all of your flight information, and then they'll automatically assign you to a shuttle, and they'll tell you what who to look for and where to look for when you arrive. Gratuities. I don't know. Something about this for me made it so much just like joyful where I can go and sit down for dinner and I order my dinner and my dinner comes and I eat it and then I just get up and leave when I'm ready. And that's it. You don't have to tip. Everything is already included in that. That just made it so nice that there's no waiting around for whatever. It's just eat and go. It's lovely.
What about the spa? You still tip at the spa or no?
I do tip at the spa. So I'm trying to remember. I think what they do, actually, now that I say that, no, we don't. Because the spa, I don't pay at the desk. Everything shows up on your bill at the front desk when you're leaving, and they don't automatically, unless they automatically add tip. That's the only part that I can't
Okay.
remember.
Okay.
So I can check on that for you if they automatically include the tip in the spa, but I don't ever remember adding like writing in a tip and additional to whatever. So I'll check on that part for you. Okay, let me to make notes so I remember what to check. Um, okay. Um, This is the main dining option here on the right. That's the outside view. So they have outdoor and indoor seating, and I have more pictures of that in a minute. And then in the evening, we'll do group coaching if you guys want. There's no obligation for this. I figured I'd include something so that if you guys want to do it, it's done in a way where it's not conflicting with the other activities that Miraval is offering. So personally, I will say I've never gone to a retreat at Miraval because I am not going to pay for Miraval and then pay for a retreat and then not be able to do both the activities. And that's my biggest holdup with a retreat. So when I thought about this, I was like, how can I do it where I still offer coaching if people want to do some group coaching with me, but it not conflict with anything else? And so this is the way we're going to do it. We'll do the activities during the day that Miraval offers because they're amazing. And then we can do some coaching in the evenings if you guys want as well. And that's really it. Okay. So questions about this before I go on to the next slide? No? Okay. All right. I keep forgetting that I can point like this and it makes it look like but I don't know what I'm pointing at because it doesn't show me. Okay, the spa. So these are none of these are my pictures. These are all from the website because it's all renovated. This is the entrance to the spa. This is the hot tub and the cold plunge on the bottom right here. Um, this is the waiting area up at the top right, where you can sit, and then they have a quiet room right behind this fireplace where it's a closed off room for you can rest. You can just sit there. You don't even need to be going to the spa for a treatment. You can just go and sit in there and relax if it feels relaxing for you. It's got a beautiful view of the mountains. Um, this is amazing because you don't have to have a spa treatment to go to the spa. You can go to the spa and use the hot tubs and the steam rooms and the saunas and the showers and all of the things, all of the amenities, even if you don't have a treatment. So there's no restriction. Like most spas at the Savannah is like you can go in if you have a treatment, otherwise you can't go in. It's not like that here. So this is beautiful. Like I will just go and put my bathing suit on after dinner and go sit in the hot tub or go to the sauna or the steam room if I want. There's no restrictions. So this is super nice. And with regards to the therapists, I can tell you which therapists are my favorite, who I've really enjoyed, which treatments are my favorite that I've enjoyed. And I think I have here a link to spa menu. Oops, no, that didn't work. I can bring it up. I'll bring it up at the end so I don't mess up the presentation, but I'll go through some of the spa treatments so you can kind of see. And when you guys get this sent over, I'll send you the links as well for the spa treatment options and then the classes as well. So meals, snacks, and what does it say? Drinks. Okay, so there are three options to eat around the resort. Number one is Palm Court, which I kind of talked to you about. That's the smoothie bar, etc., down here. It's amazing. It's lovely. Coyote Moon Lounge. I actually don't have a picture of it, but that's a lounge if you look at this picture at the bottom with the outdoor seating, it's to the left of it. And that's more of your bar style casual food. You can go there for happy hour. They have free guac, everything's free, guac and chips and everything. And you can get drinks if you want. They have flatbreads, they have burgers. It's just more of a casual. I don't really feel like going and sitting down for a formal meal. I'm just gonna wing it and hang out with friends by the fire pits. They have multiple fire pits out there just to hang out with and eat. Um, and then Cactus Flower Restaurant is their main restaurant. They do recommend reservations. My little experience planner told me that if we have up to a max of 10, we can get this table in the back as long as I book it for no additional cost. That is one thing that they, when you have larger parties and you want to have a private room to yourself, they'll charge you for that private room. So, worst comes to worst, if I can't get this, again, with this experience, some of us may not be going to dinner at all. Some of us might be going at 6, others going at 8. So it's going to be whatever kind of works. I will try to reserve the table every night so we have it. And then once people start booking their activities, we'll figure out who's not going so I can adjust the reservation. And that's how we can play it. And if you don't want to eat with everybody, you're like, dude, I have had enough of people because I've been like that. I get like that too. You don't have to eat with us. Like you do what you want. The whole purpose of this trip is you do what makes your heart happy and what brings you peace. You do not feel any obligation to be hanging out with anybody else. Um, so that's that. So we talked about tips for the spa, which I'll find out with, but for food, tips are 100% included, and you don't have to wait around to sign any checks. Um, the unless you're buying an alcoholic beverage or a premium mocktail. So that kind of covers it. The food is yummy. It's healthy. They do a really good job about being mindful of the options. They are not vegan. They have hamburgers, they have pork, they have all sorts of options, but they also have vegetarian options too. So you keep every meal has a vegetarian option so that you don't have to feel like, okay, what am I going to eat? I'm stuck. I don't really eat beef or I don't eat fish, and now I don't have an other option for yourself. So I've never been disappointed with the food there. So, okay, questions. Well, all right, next. Okay, the classes. The classes are so wide range. It's again amazing. And what I'm planning on doing is once we've got the people confirmed for who is setting up, the calendar opens up for the time that we're there. I think it's 60 days prior to our arrival, 60 or 90 days. I'll double check that too. And so what I'll do with you, even before that, is I can start having sessions to tell you about the classes, what they are. Now, granted, I haven't done all of the classes. There's no way, and they keep adding new classes. But the ones that I do know about and the ones that are my favorite, I'm 100% going to tell you about. And honestly, what I'm going to try to do is each day have one activity scheduled for us to try to do as a group. So I'll say, okay, this activity is on this day. You guys try to sign up for it if it sounds interesting to you. Again, no obligation to do it. But like, for example, the first day when you arrive, so on the 9th, we would do the first morning hike. It's typically from 7 to 9 a.m. And our times, for the most part, especially if you're coming from the East Coast, are a little bit off. So it's not a big deal getting up that early. But that's a picture from this amazing hike that we did. It's not a highly rigorous or strenuous hike. It's just going through the scenery and the mountains behind us where you can see some of the wildlife and just the natural landscape. So it's beautiful. Um, there are other classes that again are my favorites, like let me see here before I mess up what I'm trying to say to y'all and forget something. Um, so the didactic classes, so mindfulness, self-development, nutrition, manifestation, sexual health. There's just so many, the equine experiences. There's so many different classes where they're just teaching you. This is Lindsay Rivers or Lindy Rivers. She does a lot of work with pelvic floor therapy and just actually she has a wide range of things that she talks about. But my first trip there, she was talking about sexual health and pelvic floor exercises and stuff. And she pulls out this book, and I'm like, oh my God, that's my friend. So I don't know if you guys know Kelly Casperson or have heard of her. She's really in the news now a lot because she's done a lot of TED Talks on menopause and testosterone therapy. So she's out there in the world. But she had her book that she was using to tell everybody about. And I'm like, oh my God, this is my friend. So I took a picture of her and sent it to Kelly that, oh my God, they're using your book at Miraval. But so that's that sort of class. Fitness activities and classes, all sorts of ranges, all sorts of levels. And even if you're in a class that you've never done before, it it doesn't matter. Like there's nobody's judging you. You're just there to show up and try and learn. And the instructors are very, very cognizant of that and willing to help if you ask. So my before my first trip here, I had never done yoga. I didn't even know what yoga was really. I had just never done it. And I remember I went with my this group, so lots of friends, and I asked one of them, I was like, dude, I have never done yoga. I'm like so embarrassed to even go because I'm gonna fall on my ass or I'm gonna do something wrong or I'm gonna fart or something's gonna happen that's just not appropriate. And she's like, just come. It's beginner yoga. They don't care. You just do what you want. And it was so I realized how much apprehension I had to try something just because of the fear of what I was going to look like compared to everybody else who's so like just experienced and has all this prowess and whatever. It doesn't matter. And I think that was one of the best things about this place is that you can do whatever, you can try all of the things, and everybody's just there to support each other, no matter what level you're at. Um, Okay, so they have two pools. They have the guided desert hikes. They have the ropes course and challenge courses, which you saw me on that bar. I think I have a video of it later. I have never, that was for my 50th. I have never ever done anything that was like fear, not fear of heights, but just anything that was physically challenging where I could potentially die, other than what do you call it? Zip lining. And I got up there with my other friend who'd never done it, and we both, it was, I think it was 30 feet high, 25 feet across, and you're only attached by a harness. So I mean, it was crazy. And again, the whole point of it is mind over matter, right? We have so much fear that holds us back from doing the things that we think we can't do. And when you're actually in the setting where you put yourself in a position where you have to do it, you can actually do it. And that was amazing. Um, so the one-on-one sessions with clairvoyants and mediums. So this is also one of my favorite things now. So when I first went the first year, I was like, WTF, this is like crazy woo. I'm not doing that shit. And I think each time I go to Miraval, I explore a little bit more. I like push my boundaries a little bit more. So now there is not a time that I go to Miraval that I don't meet with one or two clairvoyants. And what I do is I actually record the session. So I have the audio and I go back and I write it, I transcribe it. And today I spent some time going back and reading them. Every single time I read one of the clairvoyant sessions, I'm like, oh my God, that happened. Oh my God, that happened. Oh my God, that happened. So it blows my mind. And there's a little bit of skepticism. Like I remember one session I even wrote very skeptical with this time, where I was like, they're looking up my shit online, they're doing this, that's how they're finding out about who I am and that we own the practice and blah, blah, blah. But when I think back, the very first session that I have that I've recorded, the woman, all she talked about is that there are three people here. I don't know who they are, but she very vividly and accurately described my mom's mom, my mom's dad, and my husband's father, who had all passed. Those are the only people in my life who have passed. But how she described their personality and how they were showing up, I'm like, motherfucker, she's spot on. Like it was crazy. So I'm a believer now. So I'm not saying you have to believe it or you need to believe it, but maybe just consider trying something a little crazy. And if you're interested, I can tell you about which ones I've really liked and which ones I thought were not as spot on as the others. They have trauma specialists, astrologers, and dietitians. So again, the wide range of classes and what you can learn from. They have dance classes. Art's one of my favorite things. So they have a beauty of imperfection class, which is it's that Japanese art where you do that bowl, where you break the bowl, then you glue it back together with gold paint. So here's mine. Um, so this was one of my favorite classes. Um, Power of the Pendulum. Some of you have done my group course that we did the pendulum in the group coaching that I stole from here, which you'll see, and I will highly recommend we do it because there's something about the way she does it and her meditation with that. Making mantras, making malas, there's resin work, there's painting, so much stuff. And then the last is the woo. I kind of touched on it, but they also do group sessions. So this is one of them that I would suggest that we do together as a group, specifically by Ray Jesse. She does something called the journey of, I can't remember, journey of something. But again, she will go around the room and she touches on each person. And when you're there together, especially with people that you know, I remember with this residency group when I went, it was one of my friends and her sister were there, and their father had just passed, or recently passed, and she didn't realize they were sisters and was immediately in tune to, I'm seeing sister, I'm seeing sister, I'm seeing sister. It was crazy. So I would just highly recommend keeping your mind open to it. So I think that's most of the stuff for classes. Any questions on classes? No? Okay, and I will, if I have time at the end and you guys can stay, I'll click on the link so I can show you some of their scheduling and their calendar and stuff.
It sounds like there's so much to do. Like, I don't even know how you could only have 5 days there.
And I'll touch on that too. That's my husband. I took my husband 1 year and we just went for our own growth. And that's the big gong that people tend to hit at the end when they're leaving, just to kind of like release. And then I don't know if y'all saw this one, was the video of me going across this pole, which was scary as shit, but I did it. And I was so proud of myself afterwards. This is the second pool that's attached to the athletic center, the fitness center, which is also very, very nice and well equipped. And I don't very often see people in there, honestly. This is another view of the Kiva with the mountains. This is the entrance to the spa with the big fire pit out front too. So with regards to what you said about there's so many things to do and how do we get it all done or whatever, the whole point is to not. And I think that's probably the hardest thing when you go there is to not overschedule yourself, because part of the beauty of this is to go to these classes and then give yourself time to reflect, time to really just experience. And that doesn't have to be after every class, but if you're going to a session with a medium, or if you're going to a meditation that's on forgiveness or gratitude, or if you're doing, just depending on what they are, think about how you're going to incorporate some time to reflect. Maybe you don't do dinner with everybody that night, you're giving yourself time, or maybe you just go and sit by the pool for a couple of hours too each day. You figure that out, but don't feel the pressure to do it all, because if you love it the way I love it, you're going to come back. And if there's interest, this is something that I can do every year as a group with people. So there's no fear of, oh my God, I don't have enough people to have a group to get that discount. This is why I'm doing this. It's an easy way to get enough people together to benefit from it. So cool. It's going to be hard, Michelle. I know for you too. It's going to be very hard not overbooking yourself. All right, so here I just wanted to say that they think of every single detail. Like I said, I'm not going to tell you all of them because it's going to blow the surprise. And oh, it's overwhelming as a first timer. There you go. So I will be your travel guide and I will go through, we'll have sessions before the trip where we'll get on Zoom, we'll share screen, I'll show you the calendar of what's showing up. Hey, this is something like, what do you love to do? This is something I would really suggest. And like I said, I don't want to say that I know all of them because I by no means do. They are always putting in new stuff. So part of it is just experiencing it and knowing that whatever you're getting to do and experience was what you were supposed to go do and experience. So yeah. And I wrote here, the most precious part of the experience is evolving and stepping out of your comfort zone each time you go back, because you will go back. If you love it like me, you will go back. Okay. Okay, so the cost. So I am taking the group rate and I added a little bit for some stuff that I want to gift you guys when we get there in terms of making it a special place, as well as for a little bit of my time. But the investment is $59.95 for the 5 nights, everything included, including the $700 resort credit. This is much cheaper than what you would have to pay if you booked it by yourself. You guys can go online and see. So we're getting a group discount with this. The reason I am asking for this type of payment setup is because I'm pretty much on the hook for the bookings. So when I say I want 8 rooms, I'm responsible for the cost of the 8 rooms no matter what, even if you back out. And so that's why I have to make it non-refundable from my perspective, because I will have to pay for it no matter what. So what I'm trying to do is make it feasible and easy for everybody to kind of plan. And for me to plan how many people I have in, I have to have at least 7 people do it in order for them to give me the group discount. So if I don't have 7, this is a no-go. So the earlier I know, the better for me, because the earlier I can commit to them and make sure I have the rooms held for us. So by midnight on New Year's Eve, if you're all in and you're like, yeah, I'm ready to go, all I ask is you give me a $500 deposit, and that's how I know you're in. That will definitely hold a spot for you. And if we're getting close to the max number of spots, I'll send out an email or a text so you know, because the max number that I mean, I guess I could think about it, but again, I have to book the rooms and I'm responsible for the number of rooms. So if I book 10 rooms and only 8 get used, I have to pay for 10 rooms. And so that's why if I can get a deposit and you guys know for sure you're going to do it, then I have less of that anxiety that I'm going to be on the hook for unused rooms. Okay. So that's how that's going to work. And that QR code just goes to that deposit site. Um, then on January 15th, let's say, wait, client commitment deadline, I must have 7 signups. Okay. So that was when I need to know for sure. That actually got mixed up with December 31st. Sorry. So that's what that is. If you aren't sure, if you can't commit by December 31st, but you think you might be able to go, but you need to know, you won't know till January or February. February 15th is the hard deadline. So by the 15th, I need the 60% non-refundable down payment of the total amount. So if you have committed to me by December 31st, you'll get that cheaper rate of $59.95. If you're not sure, but you still want to do it and you come after December 31st, then the price is $64.97. So it's only $500 difference, but that is also to help me kind of get people to commit earlier. The 60% deposit will definitely, well, the 500 deposit holds your spot. But if I'm starting to sense that I'm not going to have 7, I'm going to let you guys know. Or if I need people to hurry up and commit so I can know I have 7, because I'm not going to move forward with it unless I know for sure I have at least 7. I can't because we won't get the rate that I'm offering you guys. By end of February, I'm going to sign the contract, assuming I have at least 7. And then by July 15th, we'll do the deposit, the balance of the deposit, 40% minus if you did the early sign up minus the $500 deposit. That'll come out of that. So these numbers here are with the deposit not taken out yet, like the $500 deposit. Does that make sense or was it muddy? It's good. Okay. So, take a peek at all of the things. This is a bracelet class. This is the very first time I went with my residency buddies up here. Um, and then I'm gonna send you a video that I'm recording so that you will have all of this to be able to review and look at. Um, and that's kind of it. These are some more pictures. This is their main room that they do yoga and meditation in. Again, beautiful setting. Um, that's a group hiking. This is a little creek that runs between 2 of the sections. Do you want me to go through the classes or the spa calendar? Would that be nice just to see, to get an idea?
Maybe if you could just send it,
Okay,
because
yeah,
I gotta
okay.
get off here. But yeah, you said you'll send the video, Arpita, but will you send like the slide deck as
Yeah.
well?
So the
Okay.
video is the slide deck. Like all of what
Oh,
you're
okay.
seeing, it's going to go to you guys. So you
Oh,
will have
perfect.
it all
Okay.
in that. Cool.
Okay.
And if
Yeah.
you need to hop off, you can. If anybody
Okay.
does want to stay and look at some of the classes or the spa activities real quick, I'm not going to spend an hour on this, but just to give you a feel for what is there, I'm happy to do that with you.
Okay.
All right.
Thank
Bye,
you.
Michelle. See
Bye
ya.
bye.
Um, do y'all want to go through? Look some? Okay, so let me stop this share. And then I'm going to open my document that has. Oh,
Hi,
okay.
Arpita, Rashmi.
Hi, Rashmi.
Hi. Sorry, my microphone was not working, and then by the time I got it, you were talking, so I didn't want to interrupt everyone.
No
Hi, everyone.
worries.
I'm Rashmi. I'm one of the intensivists, like she said, at Spokane. And yes, I do love to travel a lot. I've only been to 8 countries this year, so yes.
See, I told you I wasn't exaggerating. Oh,
Hey,
man.
I have a question. Is this gonna be like a CME thing too? Are we gonna be able to use CME for this?
Probably not. Okay, let me put it this way. The CME, some of you are still with me right now. The CME is changing with CMEFI, where it's not category 1 necessarily. And so I am not going to financially commit to their crazy category 1 level CME. if we can do CME the way I've been doing it, where I just send you a link and it's a reflection and you guys pay a $50 fee to have the learner status and CMEify, 100%, I will do that. That's a no-brainer. But what we're hearing is that CMEify is changing their system, so this category ones are going to be much more expensive. So it's a maybe is what I would say, if that helps.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Okay. All
Okay.
right. Okay.
Okay, so here is spa menu. So if you can hear my dog, he's going crazy. He's telling my husband I have to go outside. Okay, so let's see, resorts of skincare. I mean, a ton of treatment. So some of my favorite, I don't ever get my nails done because for me, I feel like I'm going with my nails done. I don't need to waste time or money on that. But the Ayurveda massages, I've done the Abhyanga. Pradnaveda is one of my favorites. This is where they pour hot oil on your head, and that's what soaks and sits in your hair. And they say if you can sleep in it overnight and then wash it out the next day, and they teach you how to do it so it doesn't take like 20 washes to get it out. It's amazing. My hair feels beautiful. It's so shiny. It's just luscious. And it's a full body massage, but that's part of the massage. Um, so you can see there's just so many different options. They're Ayurvedic. Um, the Abhyanga Ayurvedic one is great, where they will do the typical, like the rapid strokes with the heat, with the oil, so it generates heat. So it's just kind of like what you are interested in, what you like. And each time I go, I do try to do a different one. So I'm not kind of stuck in the same old, same old. Craniosacral therapy is amazing. It's one of the ones that I typically try to do the first day I'm there if I can, if not the next morning, because it just kind of gets me in the zone of basic relaxation. Um, Acupuncture is fine. Aquazen, I've never done. So I haven't done some Mother's Blessing I've done. I didn't have a great experience with it. It's supposed to be a lot of kind of releasing trauma work with the interaction, like Reiki energy work. For me, it didn't really resonate, but some people I know have done it and absolutely love it. Path of the Jaguar, I want to do this. I've had every friend who's done it say it's amazing, but I have not actually been able to sign up for it when I've been there. So that's my on my to-do list for sure. Um, so again, just various different massages. Let me see. This is not the one that I've done though, too. Body renewal rituals. I have done I think I've done this prickly pear sugar scrub. So these are all just basically skin rituals all over your body. They'll wrap you in towels and rub you with all sorts of creams and sugar scrubs and things like that. Um, the massage. So for me, hot stone massage is always amazing. Miraval grounding is one that I also do when I arrive if I can't get the other one. Um, I'm trying to look. Oh, Tavasya. This is also one of my favorites. So I do this almost every time if I can. Um, so again, so many different options, different types of massages, and you can speak to the spa staff as well. That they'll help you give you ideas if you're not sure of what exactly each thing is or what you're wanting to do. They're very good at helping with that. And most of the time they have three experienced planners, kind of like concierge at the front desk, that will help you if you have to change your classes or cancel or move things or change your spa, and they have a lot of experience doing them themselves, so they can tell you which ones are good and which ones they would pass on, and they're pretty good about being honest with that. So any questions with this?
I just want to live at the spa.
It's amazing. I do. It's like turned into, okay, I'm just going to go to the spa and just sit there. So I plan on going every day if I can. If I can. Sometimes I'll miss a day. All right, then we'll do the activities quickly. So the activities calendar, so this is for this week right now. So to give you an idea, so the morning stretch every morning, morning meditation every morning. I will do this maybe once or twice. I definitely do it on the last day because there's not really much else I can do on my last day based on when my flights typically leave. Um, there's the Outback hike that we talked about, Winds of the Southwest. If you want to go and meet with the animal specialist and learn about the hawks and the birds and all the things. Quantum Leap is where you're jumping off this massive pole. It's climbing up the pole with the harness and then standing at the top of it, heaving yourself up to stand on top of it and then leaping off of it. So Melissa did this her first year. Mary Lynn's done this. Bonnie Pugh's done this. So this I'm too scared to do. But so lots of things, mind over matter. Let me see here. Bar class is self-explanatory. Let me see which ones. Giants ladder is another ropes course or like a challenge course item. Hit classes, so lots of athletic classes. So this is just like in the first hour, okay, from 8 to 9 a.m. These are all the things they offer Monday through Friday. So again, you don't have to. I highly suggest you don't book yourself doing something every hour. You will have it takes about 10 to 15 minutes to go from one end of the campus to the other if your classes are on opposite ends. So there's plenty of time, but you will be exhausted by the end of the day if you don't give yourself space to just rest and do nothing. So be intentional about that. Okay, so 9 to 10. Let me see if there's happy hips is one of my favorites. Like that taught me how to actually stretch my hip flexors and adductors and get myself in a space where I don't feel like I'm creaking in and out of my chair at dinner and stuff. So I incorporated this into my morning stretch routine at home now. Transcendence is a yoga nidra. So this is an example. This one you have to pay for. So I will tell you, don't do this. They do free yoga nidras that you're kind of essentially getting the same thing. So there's no reason to spend money on this if as a paid one. And you can see here the ones that have the dollar sign are the ones that you have to pay for, right? So sometimes they will have equine experiences. If you're very quick to log on to the schedule, the calendar, activities calendar, right when it's open, sometimes they'll have equine experiences for free. I highly suggest you do them because it's the same thing as the ones you pay for, but they only offer that intermittently and they don't have a lot of those. So a lot of it is the key of knowing how to work the system a little bit to get the things you want. So you can use the money then on something else. So let me see here. What other things? Mindful stress mastery. This is a great class. I've taken this. Why is this red? Is it full? Me at the yurt. Yep, full. Okay. So the yurt, I didn't have a picture of the yurt. That's like this hut looking thing. Do y'all know what a yurt is? Like, so they have some of the most beautiful classes in there, the stress classes, but a lot of the woo classes are in there. So it's one of my favorite places on the resort as well. I'm just trying to think. So artistic expression under glass. So this is painting under glass. Actually, the tree and the butterfly that are up there, I did those. That's the artistic. You don't see it on my wall.
We can't see our wall because we see you in the screen, remember?
Okay, I'll show it to you afterwards. But my things that are back there are what I did here under this artistic expression. Kitchen apothecary, and there's one called Just Cook for Me, where you cook together with the chef and make dinner. I would say if you've never been there before, I would do it, but you're paying for the wine and the food and the experience. So for me, I did it once, I'm good, but I don't need to spend money on food when it's supposed to be included anyway, and I don't drink wine, I don't drink alcohol. So it was for me not worth it. So again, it's up to you if you want to, if you enjoy that and you want to do that, that's one that I would recommend. The Zumba class is great. Cardio drumming is one of my favorite classes. It's a high energy, fun class where you're drumming on those exercise balls and just jumping around, having fun. Optimize Your Sex Life is Lindy Rivers. I know the woman I had the picture of. All the Buzz is you can go learn about the bees. I haven't done that yet, but I want to do that one. Just looking at some of the big ones that I really, so there's a yoga nidra that's free. That's what I would do instead of the transcendence. Symbols and signs, your intuitive guide. So this teacher, her name is Leah Bolin. She does another class also called Dream Manifestation. She is who helped me essentially manifest that I want to give talks at Miraval. She told her story, how she created it, how she was corporate America and was not happy, but loved doing dream work on the side as a hobby and burnt out, similar to a doc. And then her sister took her to Miraval and she was like, this place is amazing. How do I create a life here instead? She lives in Tucson. And so she had this vision of doing talks and lectures and teaching people about dreams at Miraval. And she had a hummingbird. So her symbol is a hummingbird that when she opened her eyes, there was a hummingbird right in front of her or something like that. So she was teaching us her story and telling us about how we can manifest what we want in our dreams. And in my session with her, I manifested that I'm going to give talks at Miraval and I'm going to do group sessions. And that was right before I launched my group in January, the first group. And that same June is when I went and spoke there too. So 100%, I believe in you can create whatever the hell you want, but you all know that. So, okay. So what other things? Do you see anything that you want me to expand on that's catching your eye? I'm looking for the ones that I know I love.
Have you ever done the yoga wheel?
I have not. I have
Those are
not.
fun.
Okay, I've not done that one. Maybe we'll do it together. Beauty of imperfection. That's the ceramic bowl that you break and put together with the gold. Um, the pendulum I've talked about. Okay, so there's something called floating yoga. I don't know. I am not seeing it, but or aerial. No, that's not it. So basically, they have these silks, and you might have seen it in one of the pictures where they're hanging from the ceiling, and they put you in this silk, and they play sound bowls. Have any of you ever done sound therapy? It's like amazing. I actually gifted myself this for Christmas. I bought myself a set of sound bowls so I can play it for my kids and do this now at home. But they put you in this cocoon silk. They gently rock you if you don't get motion sickness or if you don't, you just lay there and they play the sound bowls. And it's such a deep, powerful meditation with sound, like the vibration of the sound you can literally feel going through your body. It's amazing. So they have that one is paid, and that is one that I highly, if that resonates for you, I highly recommend you do this. So there's ways you can do the sound therapy for free. I don't think any of the aerial yogas are free. So in order to be doing anything in the silk, you have to pay for, but it's not much. It's like $79 or something like that.
I've done that sound therapy thing in Bhutan. Like after a massage, they wrap you up and like do the sound therapy. I can attest. I loved it. Oh my God.
It's so powerful.
It is. Yeah.
So powerful. So this artful photography, this is one of my favorite classes. She goes around and teaches you how to do magical things with your iPhone on the resort. Like, so you learn how to take pictures in a really cool way. So a lot of these pictures that I took were with her tutorials in terms of how to get your phone to do the things that you're wanting to do that they look like our teenagers when our teenagers do it. And I don't know how the hell she does it, but sometimes I now know. Intuiting the Tarot. I want to take this class. I did not get to do this before. This is one of the newer ones, so I'm excited about that. Dream Manifestation, that's the one I was talking about that I did. She's a lovely human. I love this woman. Cocktails in the Kitchen, they have a cocktails class. Again, you're paying for the alcohol, but if that's something that resonates for you, my husband's done it, I've done it. It's a fun class. But for me, I don't want to put my credits onto that for sure. I mean, for sure, because I've already done it. Intuitive nourishment. Let's see. The ground and rejuvenate with clay. I would not recommend it. I thought it was wheel throwing with the wet clay, and you're making and it's just the hard clay that you're molding with. So for me, that didn't resonate. But if that does for you, that's what that is. Again, here's another yoga nidra that's free. I don't think if there's any other
Do you
one.
have to sign up for things, or are there things that are like, this has openings? I'm not doing anything. Like their yin yoga is not full. You can just go.
You can just go, and when they ask that you do sign up to put your name on it, but you if for whatever reason last minute you just, oh, that's open and I'm not doing anything, I want to go, you can go and then see if they'll just let you in. Now,
Okay.
for the paid classes,
Well, I mean, like for the free things, like the afternoon stretch, you're like, oh, I'm not doing anything. I feel
yeah,
like I have some, that might be nice,
you
right?
can
I'm kind of
totally go.
bored.
You can totally go and see if they have openings, and if they do, they'll let you in. Um, but what I was going to say is, so for the free classes, when you sign up, if you are going to cancel, they ask, I think, for at least a 4 hour notice, or they might ding you. Now, I've never gotten dinged because I think they also know me, and I've had once or twice where it's gotten messed up. But out of respect, I would cancel if you know you're not going to go. For the paid ones, if you don't give them 24-hour notice, you'll get dinged. So that one you definitely need to cancel in advance so they can open it up to somebody else. Um, This Restore and Rejuvenate yoga, that's one of my favorite things. The first night that I'm there, if they have that, I definitely do this because it just kind of gets you in the zone, in the mode for that. Um, the sound journeys, again, the free ones, I would say you could try it. It depends where they do it. So again, some of these classes they hold in the activity rooms, and I feel like there's not enough space for what they're trying to do. So I can help you with that as the schedule comes out as well. And then the spiritual drumming for the soul is supposed to be amazing. I have never done it. It's supposed to be fun, just kind of goofy, free, let yourself go. But yeah. So it gives you an idea of general idea of the classes, and it changes. Like, so they don't have the same classes every day. It's a rotating schedule. So you might go 3 days later off and you'll see things that you didn't see a couple days before. So, all right, questions. No, don't need to be shy. It's just me.
So Arpita, like if you use your 700, then how does it work from there? Like,
Then
I
you
mean,
just accrue. And I'm going to tell you, when I go, I've gotten to the point where I'm like, I'm going to plan to spend $1,500 over. Now, the first 2 times I went, I was 100% in my $700 credit budget. Like I was very good about it. And then I think part of my mindset has now shifted to if there's something there that I really want to do, I don't want to go all the way there and not do it. So I want to do the spa every other day because it just gets me in a good place. It heals my body, it makes me feel good, and I want to do a couple other classes. So I give myself a budget of about 1,000 to 1,500 on top of what I know I'm spending for the resort. And you don't have to do that. You do whatever you want. You can do everything within the budget and still experience amazingness there. So there's no pressure.
and then what? So once you use the 700, they just accrue it and you pay at the end.
Correct. They'll put it on your bill. So what you'll see is now I will say I would check your bill the night before. I always check the bill to make sure they haven't made any errors because everybody makes mistakes, but check the bill to make sure your credits will show up. They'll probably tell you they'll show up the next day when you leave, which they will. The other thing when we're booking, sometimes the pricing it doesn't actually that doesn't apply for you guys. So never mind. That doesn't apply. For the so it's just it'll show in your balance. So your balance is going to be zero because you're paying me and I'm paying the resort, other than any activity that goes over $700 or any alcohol or mocktails and stuff like that. Cool. What else? Anything else? Good? Okay. So I will have Emily send out an email in the next day or two with the video and the link for the Kajabi, and y'all decide. If you're not sure, you have any questions, you can text me, you can email me, you guys have access to me, whatever works for you, and we will go from there. Awesome. Okay, so excited. I hope we get 7. It's going to be amazing.
Enjoy the cold weather and the snow.
I know. It's like 20 degrees and snow.
Perry's like, yeah, I'm going skiing.
Like, no.
You just got to layer up. You just got to put
You
lots of
know,
layers.
I agree. I got a new necky. I'm very excited about it since I was using the same one from high school. So, I'm really going up in the world. It's like a $20 thing that makes me happy
I'm
about
glad
life.
you're treating yourself, Becky.
Yeah. Next time we check here, I give you a tour of my new house because you haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, I know. I know. It's good to see you.
It's